It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to Game 1 of the NBA season, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Legit Smith.
Man, it's been a long summer.
I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. We have been waiting for this day for a long time. Our game tonight featuring the New York Knicks as they go up against the Washington Wizards. Well, for Washington, coming into this matchup with no shortage of confidence, they won all 4 games against this team last season. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they gotta have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah.
Well said.
No need to add anything to that.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Tell them sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and this New York crowd wants some love from their Knicks. And as things get ready to roll, let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's on the sideline. David?
Well, guys, Kristaps Porzingis was taken with the 4th pick in 2015, and he was considered a project then. But he's shown himself ready, and part of that has been his mentality. He said, they thought I was afraid, but that's not who I am. I'll never back down from anybody. If I want to succeed, I can't be scared of anybody. I've got to be fearless out there on the court. Kevin?
Thanks, G.A. And what's scary is Porzingis is only going to get better. That kind of fearlessness will help him in the long run. This is a player, when you're looking at your team and how you're playing in these early stages of the season, what are some of the things you're looking for? What are some of the compass signs you've got to read here?
Well, you're hoping to see tendency. You're hoping to see the culture, which means that your guys are getting to the gym early, that they're practicing, that what you tell them is shoot around, they're paying attention to during the game, that it follows through. A lot of it is more than X's and O's. It's about that culture, that winning culture, where you're doing all the little things. So you want to make sure that everyone is all dialed in, that they're sacrificing, that the team is the most important thing for them in the season. And you can tell that every day by how they practice, their routines, and then their effort on the court.
So sometimes early on it's more than just the wins and losses. That can be a little deceiving?
Yeah, definitely. The wins and losses are deceiving. Throw those out the window, because if you're building wins on bad habits, if you're building that castle on sand, so to speak, you're going to get knocked down when you get to play against a really good player. You're just kind of building up extra confidence, thinking of yourself more than you ought to. So I had a great coach always tell me that if you worry about the process, the wins and losses will come. If you worry about the wins and losses, you totally lose control of the process, and all heck can break loose.
I like that. Well said. And now Washington's starting group. Porter and Morris are the forwards. The explosive backcourt is Wall and Beal at the 1 and 2. And it's Gortat in at the 5. On the wing, Hardaway. Porzingis passes to Lee. Porzingis with a screen on Porter. Lee, and count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
They're finding every shot they've wanted so far. Perfect 3-for-3 start.
The Knicks shooting their first foul shot of the game.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
And the slam dunk by Wall.
Look, Wall is incredible at finishing with force at the rim. It's all about his athletic ability.
We've played just over a minute here in the first. Poked away. And here we go. Washington fast break. And the layup's good off the glass. Wall's got his second basket of the game.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting calls, and for good reason.
Well, yeah, he's a guy who can carry you for stretches, long stretches in this game. You want to get him involved early and often.
Here's Ntilikina following the basket by John Wall. Expanding his range. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Ntilikina continues to impress from deep. Definitely showing he's comfortable shooting it from beyond.
Okay, 4 for 5 from the floor right now. Wasting no time getting this offense rolling.
Here's Ntilikina following the basket by Otto Porter. Here's Wall.
Nasty. You gotta enjoy watching Wall take flight. He's a sensational dunk artist.
The Knicks have gone 4 of 4 to start, so a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Pass to Ntilikina. Beal pulls it in.
Oh, you finally see him miss there after hitting their first 4 shots of the game.
Here's Gortat. Offensive rebound. Here's Morris. And that misses. That would have put him up. New York's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Here's Hardaway. Beal with the block. And now here comes Wall leading the break. Baseline try. A second chance effort. And Morris with the lay-in.
Wow. Morris is a physical guy. Solid at staying active on the boards and gobbling up these rebounds.
To the middle. Nice shot by Porzingis. Porzingis has got 5 points so far.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Oh, you can't lay that pass in there any better.
New York trailing.
You know, they used to say Markieff Morris was once a locker room distraction, but he's found a home here. He seems more at peace with the situation. He's putting up solid numbers at the forward spot.
And here we go. Washington fast break. And Wall slams it home.
Wall is a crafty defender. Look, he loves getting his hands in the passing lanes. He's phenomenal at stealing the ball.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his first foul. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Lob pass to Porzingis. Out to Lee. Puts up a 3. Washington with the rebound. We talked to Markieff Morris about those times in Phoenix. He and Coach Hornacek still talk as they went their separate ways. Seems it was just a bad situation for everyone.
Well, yeah, when you're on a sinking ship, everyone will lash out. I'm glad Morris has put that behind him and able just to concentrate on playing basketball.
Down low, here's Hardaway, and then Hardaway with the dunk.
I love the fact that Ntilikina is skilled at being a ball mover. He's got a pass-first mentality, and that's winning basketball.
And yes, it's good. 10 points for Wall.
And when it rains, it pours. Another jump shot tickles the twine.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's foul number 2 for him.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
And it's the Knicks with the ball. It's a 5-point game.
3 early turnovers, Kevin. He needs to regain his focus and start righting the ship.
Morris with the bucket.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Here's Ntilikina following the basket by Markieff Morris.
And a lot of scoring here early on. This is the type of game the fans love to see.
And the type of game that many coaches hate. Very little defense being played on either end.
Now here's Lee after Markieff Morris's miss. Pass to Ntilikina. To the middle. Here's Porzingis. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
Team ball. Great execution on offense. Everyone working together. You wish you could have that on every play.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
That's his second foul, and now they might really go at him. I mean, try to get a third foul and force him to sit on the bench.
And Frank Ntilikina out of France, played pro ball in Germany, and a lot of fans in the U.S. might not be as familiar with him, but for NBA execs and scouts, that's their job. Ntilikina has a game worthy of their attention.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Cantor comes in for Porzingis. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Lee. And it's Baker in for Hardaway. And Porter, here we go. Misses that one. His first miss of the night, 2 for 3. Down low. It's hauled in by Frazier. In a draft stocked with point guards, Ntilikina's court vision, Greg, might be the best of them all.
I mean, he's a true pure point guard. At the same time, a good shooter. The length to defend wings, so that versatility makes him one of the more valuable prospects.
And the rejection by Smith. Pass to Mahimi. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
It's his first trip to the line.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Kelly Oubre comes in for Porter. And it's Jody Meeks in for Bradley Beal. Mahimi hits them both. And Chris, you were the #1 overall draft pick back in 1993. We've seen a lot of greats taken with that pick, but it also seems that those #1 picks who aren't as successful face a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism. There's a lot on your plate to handle. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for some players being the #1 pick. But I've always laughed and I've thought about, players that maybe people say maybe they were a bust, maybe this player wasn't good. Well, I think you should go back and look at the GM that picked them. I mean, the GM is the guy that assesses talent, So when there were a few players that were picked #1, and many players said, "What are you doing? We've played against him. We would never pick him #1." So before that, I think the NBA is about opportunity and situation. Look at a guy like Chauncey Billups. He went to Boston. He didn't do well at Boston. They called him a malcontent, said he couldn't play, and then he ended up being one of the best leaders that the game had. And so this game is all about situation and opportunity. Can you find the right fit? That's why if you're a player, you can't let frustration get to you. You have to continue to work hard, continue to prove your game, because when you play, you're auditioning for the other teams in the league as well. They're saying, wait a minute, we see his unique talent, skills, and we see his unique skill set, and we could use him. And so many times you just have to wait for the right position, the right situation.
Knicks trail by 9. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
New York moving the ball around. Here's Baker, guarded by Mahimi. Shot clock at 6. Count that one.
Floater's a tough shot, even when you're that close to the bucket.
Wizards leading by 7. And Mahimi with the stuff.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Here's Baker. Knocks it loose. The dish to O'Quinn. And the rejection by Smith. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, one thing the Wizards have done a good job of is making use of the corner 3. It's the most efficient shot in the game. Wizards make sure they have that as an option on a lot of their sets.
A different look for New York. Noah comes in for Kyle O'Quinn. And it's Kuzminskis in for Cantor. And he makes the first but misses the second. And if you look at the personnel of the Wizards, it makes sense that they get so much use out of the corner 3.
Well, not just because they have good shooting team from distance, but they have John Wall that breaks down the defense, attracts other defenders, which leaves wide open players for jump shots.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
And he gets it to go.
Anybody see any defensive presence on that play? I mean, he's not going to blow that layup. It was wide open.
No one near Smith as he lets it go. Good, and it's Frazier who picks up the assist. Frazier's got 3 assists now in this one. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the first. Passes to Baker. Doubled by Smith. There's the pass to Kuzminskis. Knocked away. It's stolen by Smith, and it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way. Knicks trail by 11. Down low. And Kuzminskis gets it to go.
And how about the presence of mind of Ntilikina there? An excellent passer who does a great job of setting the floor. Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
And it's happening at both ends, trying to end this thing before it begins.
John Wall getting it done for Washington. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. We come back right after this. And a chance to hear from Bradley Beal. He came from a football family in St. Louis, but said his mother introduced him to the game of basketball at a young age.
She definitely put the ball in my hand. She's the one who taught me my form. I followed through, and still to this day, she yells at me if I miss a shot. So she's kind of a perfectionist, and she definitely taught me how to shoot. She can shoot it, and she still to this day thinks she can shoot better than me.
Maybe some other NBA players should be practicing with Bradley Beal's mom, because she has definitely honed something special into him.
To be sure. I'm just not sure some of the more delicate NBA egos could handle her trash talking once she beats them in a game of horse.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start the second quarter. And quite a position here for the Wizards to be in. What do you guys think?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Well, that's what happens when you're aggressive on that end of the floor. They took a few chances and took control of the game.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So on the floor for Washington, Frazier is out there with Jody Meeks. Then there's Oubre, and it's Smith, and it's Mahimi in at center. McDermott, no one around him. Here's Noah. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And you just hate to give up those second chance points.
It can be discouraging.
Oh! Watch out! Watch out! He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. So it's the Knicks now, after the basket by Washington. Here's Kuzminskis. Misses in close. Washington leading now by 15. Releases from 15. Another shot, and it's good on the layup. Mahimi's got 10.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Pass to Kuzminskis. That's tipped, and it goes out of bounds. That one is off Smith. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Knicks.
And a shot they haven't been looking for very much is that corner three. And when they have, these been quick to kind of close out and deny it, and they've had to get their points from elsewhere.
And the Knicks making a change here. Hardaway's checked in. Here's Baker. Dishes it to Hardaway. No good on the triple. The Wizards have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Well, you look at Markieff Morris, and you see a player, Greg, who is finally meeting his potential.
And you know what? Give credit to Morris because he's fallen in line with the team and the staff here. I think he's always had the talent to be an impact player. It just took a structured situation for him to really flourish, and I think he's found a home here in Washington.
Nice work to get in position for the rebound and the putback. He has no off switch.
And so New York calls timeout. They're first.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Ooh, this is ugly. No question about it. And you wonder if these matchups aren't favoring them right now.
Porzingis, he's checked in for the Knicks. Lee comes in for Doug McDermott. And then for Washington, Gortat's checked in for Jason Smith. Bradley Beal comes in for Meeks. And John Wall's subbed in for Frazier. Gortat with the steal. And Wall slams it home.
Look, Wall can be one of the most dangerous scorers in the game, especially when he gets hot. Keep getting him the rock.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Noah the screen. Knocks it loose. Wall with the steal. Moving it up. And Wall slams it home.
Oh, here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rim. Hardaway kicks to Baker. Porzingis against Morris. It's stolen by Wall. And here we go with Morris running it up the court. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Hernan Gomez is checked in for Noah. Well, there have been a lot of great young big men come into the league over the last couple of years. Chris, do you think the post position is about to make a comeback in the league right now?
I think it definitely could make a comeback because of the players that we've seen enter into this game, like Cat and Davis and Embiid. But I also think that, you know, the game has grown because we've had to see players like Larry Bird on the post extend this game to three-point area. We got to see Hakeem Olajuwon get the first big crossover. So I don't know if the game will ever be the same with traditional posts, but I do know the game is in good hands with guys that have great skill sets, and so the big man is definitely back.
The tenacity, the attention to detail, it's why these guys are in complete control.
Well, they continue to extend the lead. Terrific play on both ends of the court.
New York calls timeout.
And you could argue Bradley Beal was one of the bigger all-star snubs from last season. It's great to see what he can do when finally healthy, and has always been a dangerous scorer when he's at 100%. A chance to check out the numbers for Beal. He had a strong showing last season. He averaged about 23 points a game last year, 3 assists and 3 rebounds. Solid numbers, the kind of production we expect. And frankly, I think he's got another level to take it to.
Yeah, think about this. He definitely has the skill set to put up even bigger numbers. It wouldn't be a surprise to see that in the coming days.
Now here's Beal, and again, Washington with the triple. And with Beal, and Greg, you brought this up with his health because he hadn't been able really to play a full slate of games in his first 4 years in the NBA.
Yeah, and credit him for dedicating his efforts to improve his health. I mean, it was a time when you thought injuries would maybe limit his career, but when he's on the court, he is one of the best we have at that off-guard position, and he's only going to get better. And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And Gortat over to help. Ball's knocked loose. Gortat with the steal. He dishes it to Beal. Shoots from 14. Great D that time from Hardaway.
I like the shot selection on that one, despite the miss.
And a wide open look for Lee. And the Knicks miss again.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, going up against a big run, trying to mount one of your own. I mean, it's exhausting and takes a tremendous amount of energy here.
Now here's Lee. Bradley Beal unable to get his shot to go. Doubled by Oubre. Beal with the steal.
You gotta like the aggressiveness of Beal. He's constantly on the attack, solid at picking up fouls on the drive.
Well, you have to like the aggressiveness of Beal that he has injected into his game, Chris, as he's developed.
The free throw attempts and three-point attempts are both up for Beal as he's developed. I mean, those are two of the most efficient ways to score as a guard. Overall, looks so much more engaged and sleek out on the floor.
Enes Kanter's checked in for Hernan Gomez. And a switcher also for Washington. Porter's checked in.
And another miss. Woo, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Shoots from the elbow. Wall's shot is off. The Knicks shooting well. They're at 45%. Here's Baker. He's covered by Beal. It's stolen by Wall. And Wall with the slam.
Wall is a tenacious warrior. He's a high-flying, dunking machine, especially off the drive, thanks to his leaping ability.
Here's Baker. Outside Hardaway. Knocked away. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here.
And let's see some of the numbers on John Wall. Great showing for him last season. Second in assists, second in steals, and amongst the league's top-tier scorers, top 20 in points per game.
And back to him finishing runner-up in assists, his court vision, his ability to control the pace of a game makes him especially impossible to defend. Count that bucket.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Baker passes to Hardaway. Here's Lee. Out to Porzingis. Out of bounds. Washington takes possession. Let's give a look now at the 2K leaderboard to see who led the league in assists last year. Second, John Wall.
Very few guys pass the ball better than he did. I mean, he didn't just have eyes in the back of his head. It's almost as if he had them on both sides, too.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Porzingis. And it's Ntilikina in for Baker. And it's the Knicks with the ball. Following the miss by John Wall. No good from Lee. And Porter, here we go. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And there's the call. New York with the foul.
People may not see how quick Porter is on these drives. Sometimes the D has no choice but to whack him.
And Porter drops them both. When Otto Porter came into the NBA, he really didn't have a shot to force opponents out on him. Now, Chris, he's worked on it. He's transformed himself into one of the better shooting forwards out there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if teams didn't get the memo or what, but for a while they were still giving Porter those shots, and he was knocking them down. His field goal percentage from the floor and behind the arc have both taken huge leaps forward over the past few years.
And how about the excellent court vision, just keeping the defense off balance?
Well, if you're his teammate, you love this right now because all you have to do is focus on finishing.
The feed to Hardaway. Lee against Porter. And Porter comes to help. Gortat with the steal. And finished off by Porter.
Oh, the lightning-quick reflexes of Porter, they're just outstanding. Crafty at coming up with steals.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Lee goes in. Gortat with the block.
Not a very consistent quarter for him in terms of his shooting.
Wall. Here's Morris. Excellent D from Cantor.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Morris. And here we go. Washington fast break. And Morris throws it down.
Look at that. You can see the determination in the eyes of Morris. He's trying to beat everyone down the floor in transition.
59 seconds left to play in the first half. Down low. The shot's good from Cantor. Cantor's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Now those passes into the paint have to be precise, just like that one.
Offensive rebound. And that one's good by Gortat.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Kicks it to Cantor. Picked by O'Quinn. The drive by Cantor. Washington with the rebound. Gortat's got his third rebound on the night. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. They get Courtney Lee. The Wizards have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line.
What about the versatility of Wall? I mean, he's a nightly double-double. He continues to get better.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kuzminskis comes in for Cantor. And McDermott subbed in for Courtney Lee. The Wizards also changing it up. Mahimi's checked in for Gortat. Smith comes in for Morris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Bradley Beal. And it's good for 2.
That's just too easy. I mean, you can't let him post you like that.
Well, yeah, you want to try to deny and take something away, but you can also see he's smart about his position.
Mahimi's shot is good.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Man, this is what happens when you get discouraged. Sometimes it just affects every part of your game.
And so a pretty lopsided game through the first half. Washington out in front, running away with it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Bradley, great first half for you. Look, we know you come from a football-playing family. It looked like you wanted to establish control in a football-type way in the first half.
Oh, you have to. This is a physical game. You see the refs they call a lot of hard fouls, but sometimes they don't call them. So, I mean, you can't complain about it. You just have to just keep attacking. And these guys are big. I mean, this is the NBA, so you have to be physical and not complain and try to go strong every time you go to the basket.
Bradley, thanks for your time. We'll see you in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And welcome to halftime. Hey, what a fantastic time of the year. NBA season getting underway. Hey!
I'm excited. I am really excited. I am really, really excited, honey.
It was a great half of basketball from John Wall. He had 20 points, 5 steals, and 3 assists. And let's get your thoughts, Kenny, on the Wizards.
No question. The first half belonged to John Wall. Athletic point guard, a terror in transition, serves up the corner threes on a platter. And as a scorer, he's extended his range. A big boost for the spacing of the offense.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. You look at the field goal percentage against them, this tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, Ernie. Like Kenny disrupts me all the time, not enough disruption.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. An exceptional performance from John Wall.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable with, but his passing in the first half really was impressive.
Yeah, some of it is based on how the defense is playing you. He didn't force things. Instead, he rewarded his teammates.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. Porzingis and Hernan Gomez. Look at that.
Look, you can't allow Wall to get a lane to the rim. He's too fast.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Excellent work by the talented people in our production truck as well. Morris outside, and Morris throws it down.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at both ends, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team in scramble mode.
The Knicks shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. Over in the corner, Lee. And Porter comes to help. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Morris. Wizards on D. Wall with the steal. And here we go. Washington fast break. And the basket is good. 13 points for Bradley Beal.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
They get a hand on it. Beal on the double team. Outside, Porzingis. Porter against Lee. Hernan Gomez kicks to Hardaway. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on John Wall.
Yeah, the defender all over him. And Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of a former all-star point guard. Jr. not maybe the same ball handler his father was, but he can sure fill it up. And I really feel like he's established his niche in the NBA.
And Hardaway Jr., a 6'6" shooting guard out of Michigan. Talk about his game a little bit for us, Greg. Analyze where he is.
Above average in terms of his athletic ability, improving defensively, and right now he's playing off the ball, whether spotting up or filling the lane. I think this guy's got a chance to be special. He's passionate, and boy, does he compete.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Now here's Lee. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And Chris, power forwards today shoot a lot more three-pointers. If you played today, I think you'd be incredibly effective in that role. How do you think you'd be in that role?
Oh, yeah, I think that that's something I would have definitely had fun and relished in. I did shoot threes a couple of seasons in Washington, and was pretty successful at that, but the style of play was just so different then. Big men were asked to stay in the post, and there was a lot more work in the post, a lot more pressure on the big guy to get to the free throw line to wear down the defense. So the whole game was different then. The big man kind of ruled the game. Today it's a point guard's game, and so what's great is I'd have to step out to give the point guard a lot more room to drive, to take a shot blocker away, or because there aren't these shot blockers. And so I definitely would love to hang out in that corner and shoot that easy three, or at the top after a pick and roll and pop right back. That would have been a lot of fun. Plus, it would give you freedom, because when you can shoot that Jimmy like that and you got a nice wet jump shot, it allows that pump fake to work all day. So I would have pump fake a lot from that three-point line and dunked on a lot of people. So that would have been fun to have that freedom as they do today. Just like it's fun watching these young guys let it fly from that three-point line.
Here's Porzingis following the basket by John Wall to the inside. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
They can't miss their third make in a row to begin the half.
Frazier, he's checked in for John Wall. For New York, they have converted 4 of 7 free throws on the night.
Look, he's 6'5", 200 pounds. Lee is no easy cover. You got to love this guy's intensity.
And the Knicks making a change here. Baker's checked in. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. A nice shot by Frazier.
Gotta admire the presence of Miles. Bill is terrific at whipping the ball over to his teammates.
Baker passes to Porzingis. Beal on the double team. Porzingis with the ball. Guarded now by Morris. That one falls. Hardaway's got 8.
They've been very sharp to start the half. A perfect 4 for 4 from the field.
Morris with the bucket.
He's reason number 1 there in front. I mean, his shooting has been almost flawless.
Here's Baker. The wide open look here for Porzingis. The three-pointer no good.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Look at Morris break down the defense on this play. If they leave one of his guys open, he's going to get it to him fast.
A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Beal on the double team. Hardaway with a wide open look. And it's Hardaway again missing.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
And Porter, here we go.
Porter is a quick player, jumping right down the throat of the defense with his speed on the drive.
For New York, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. And out of bounds as the Wizards gain possession. And a look here at the shot chart for the Wizards.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around as his energy is contagious out there right now.
And the Wizards with possession. And one strength, Greg, that this Knicks team has enjoyed the last couple of years has been their ability to win the rebounding game.
And that's back-to-back seasons, Kevin, in the top 10 for rebounding in terms of the Knicks. And it was something they wanted to improve upon starting a few years ago. They've changed their rebounding trouble into a big asset moving forward.
New York's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. On the wing, Lee. And the Knicks miss again. From the Wizards, their shooting has been just fantastic, around 65% tonight, getting exactly what they want when they want it.
And the jump shot has been a dimension of this game where they've had a clear advantage.
Here's Baker, following the basket by Otto Porter. And it's out of bounds to New York. They'll retain possession. A different look for New York. Joakim Noah's checked in for Hernan Gomez. And McDermott's subbed in for Courtney Lee. And a change for the Wizards. Kelly Oubre's checked in for Otto Porter Jr. Here's Baker. Frazier covering. Morris dishes to Frazier. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
And that's miscue number 2 for them tonight. On the whole, they've been doing a great job of taking care of the basketball.
Enes Kanter's checked in for New York. Mahimi's checked in for Washington. A nice shot by Frazier.
And guys, this is the blueprint for winning on the road. How about the level of focus on each and every possession?
They've come in with a great overall strategy, the right attitude, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Hardaway. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And while we've got this moment here now, let's take a look at last season's leaders in converting turnovers into points. In the third position, the Wizards.
And this team, in terms of scoring off of turnovers, that became the identity. I mean, they really look to disrupt and cause problems defensively. And boy, do they take advantage on the other end.
On offense, here are the Wizards. They're on a 16-7 run. Got that bucket in no time at all. Smith's got his third basket of the night right there.
Great work right there on the inbounds play, getting the bucket before the D has time to react.
Kanter with it. Now Smith defending. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And Greg, with Enes Kanter last season, he had to miss significant time with the broken hand, but his offensive game is something to watch when he's healthy.
He just plays hard. He provides that instant offense off the bench, a great array of post moves to pick from.
A lot of history here with the Wizards and Washington. A lot of great players have worn the jersey, yourself included, Chris. Do you have a favorite Wizard or Bullet player you like to watch?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did. Juwan Howard, I love watching him go to work in that great All-Star season that he had. Wes Unseld, he's had a huge influence on so many bigs. Elvin Hayes, I mean, his name is all over the franchise record book. So many players. John Wall now.
And here's Cantor after the three-pointer from Kelly Oubre. Noah with a screen for McDermott. It's stolen by Smith. Here's Oubre, and finished off by Oubre.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink?
New York, no good that time either.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
The Knicks have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter, 4 of 8. Baker kicks to McDermott. Rebound, Washington.
That defense is as good as a block. I mean, what looks to be a layup turns into nothing.
The shot by Mahinmi, no good.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Well, I'd love to hear his explanation to Coach right there. I mean, that should be an interesting conversation.
Now here's McDermott. Knocked away. And here we go. Washington fast break. And it's Mahinmi finishing it off.
And how about the fast hands and then getting right out in transition?
I mean, look, I was going to say you're attacking on both ends, quickly going from defense to offense.
Here's Baker after the basket by Washington. And here we go. Washington fast break. And Mahinmi with the stuff.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
That's just the aggressiveness of transition, making sure they come away with points.
Baker passing to Hardaway. Some nice passing by New York here. Now here's Oubre. He's covered closely. Mahinmi, that shot is good. He has made 8 while missing only 4. That's 67% shooting.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
And Noah with the slam.
Showcasing his skills with that slam.
He knows how to put the exclamation point on those, doesn't he? My goodness. Oubre, good.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Baker kicks to Hardaway. There's a good screen. Cantor inside, guarded by Mahinmi. The shot's good from Cantor.
That was just a perfect possession, getting in it in tight for the high percentage shot. Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The 19-foot shot, and he knocks down the jumper. Mahinmi's got 10 points here in the second half.
And there it is again. They get careless with the basketball, and immediately it costs them.
McDermott kicks to Cantor. With 4 seconds on the clock, and the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
And Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous play right there. I mean, I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way, as much as you just saw him do there. Glad they pinned a flagrant on him.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. Both good from the line that time. Here's Ntilikina. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Ntilikina's got 9 points.
And, you know, sometimes there just really isn't a defense for Ntilikina. He does a phenomenal job keeping that high release on his shot when the D is near.
And so it's Washington with a huge lead at the break. Safe to say there's no catching them today. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. Back right after this. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. The Knicks shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. They've got Ian Mahinmi. Satoransky there with Jody Meeks. And it's Smith. And it's Mack in at the three.
Jump on. Pull. You two players.
That's tipped. Washington with the ball. Smith dishes to Meeks. No good on the triple. Now the Knicks with it. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand. Washington has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 3 assists tonight.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Now here's Beasley. That shot wide open. Here's Satoransky. And it's Smith penetrating. It's rebounded by Kuzminskis. Kuzminskis has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. For the three, it's good from long range. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Here's Satoransky, uses the glass to finish the layup.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
You know the saying, numbers don't lie. You can see it up there on the scoreboard.
Now, here's Thomas. Pass to Kuzminskis. Beasley the screen. Here's Ntilikina. Shot clock at 6. Shoots over Meeks. Ntilikina can't hit. For Washington, they've gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Here's Mack. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Beasley kicks to Kuzminskis. Beasley the screen. And you look at today's players, they have so many more ways to connect with their fans. But Chris, at times, do you think that creates added pressure for the players?
Every player has pressure. I don't know about added pressure, but I do think it's a different time with social media, and you can hear everyone's opinion. So I think that you need to focus more if you're an athlete, but I don't think it adds more pressure. Because whether or not someone can type it or say it in your face or boo you at a game, you're going to hear those words.
Scott can't get it to go.
He finds a major hole in the D beyond the arc and still can't cash in on it.
Doubled by Smith and stolen by Scott. Passes it to Satoransky. No good on the three. For New York, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. And Jody Meeks gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. And Jody Meeks gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Ntilikina. Feeds it to Lee. Right wing. Picked by O'Quinn. Back to Lee. Lee with another miss. Washington's gone 0 of 3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Wasted no time on that one. Max got 4 this quarter. New York's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Chris, bench celebrations can be seen as showing up the other team. Is there a balance in your mind of how players can celebrate without maybe rubbing it in the other team's face?
I mean, this isn't baseball. You know, if basketball was baseball, if we hit a home run, then we could trot, turn around, spin. We don't, you have respect for your players by how hard you play against them, by preparing for them. by not playing dirty. But basketball, no. No, the culture is in the parks. The culture is with guys that play, and the bench should have as much fun. I love watching the benches go crazy. Think of how hard those guys on the bench work all season long and may never get in. What's wrong with being hyped for your teammates? No, I don't think it should be turned. I love it. Actually, I think some of these benches need to turn it up even more. Hopefully, we get a better show on the bench.
And that one drops. That gives him the double-double. 11 points and 12 assists. Satoransky gets the bucket.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
Double team on Thomas. To the paint. Tries a three. And no good that time. And it's Washington the other way. Here's Scott.
And last season, the Knicks raised expectations with some of those big free agent signings and trades in the prior year. And let's face it, things just didn't work out quite how they had planned. Some would say they underachieved. Hard pill to swallow for a fan base that went into the year with so much hope.
And New York making a change here. McDermott's checked in. And a switcher also for Washington. Tim Frazier's checked in for Satoransky. Wizards have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. Scott. Rebounded by McDermott. And a big problem for the Knicks in their shortcomings last season was their defense.
Yeah, and listen, they have some shot blocking, but as a whole, the defense lacked teeth. More than anything else, it played a part in the disappointment of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming years.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Joakim Noah's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Baker in for Ntilikina. And the Wizards making a change here as well. Oubre's checked in. There's Baker. Buries the long-range jumper.
And in that first half, guys, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as they have here in the second, trying to use that shot to stay in the game. It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Poked away. Here we go, one-on-one. And then Scott slams it in.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think. And it's the Knicks with the ball. Baker kicks to Lee. Out left to the wing. Lee sets a screen for McDermott. The pass to Kuzminskis. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
I don't know if that was by design or by accident, but the D not paying any attention to him.
Got that bucket in no time at all. And that's now 17 points for Kelly Oubre.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
Well, what I like about it most is he's doing it efficiently.
Here's Scott. Got a piece of it. Now here's Lee. Pass to Baker. Now McDermott. Here's Baker. And now the fast break. Meeks with the ball. Lays it in off the breakaway.
Leaving the rest of the field in the dust.
Well, while he's out there making a play, everyone else is watching. Solid individual effort right there.
Lee kicks to Kuzminskis. Doubled by Smith. Here's Lee. And he lays it straight in. Lee's got 4 points this quarter.
And when Lee has the ball there, it's over. He's going up for the throwdown every time.
He got that one up quick.
He's just able to shoot over people at a high rate.
But yeah, using his size, that's what I like about his game. He understands where he has the advantage. Then he exploits it.
And again, Washington running the court in transition. And it's Smith finishing it off.
And how about the fast hands and then getting right out in transition?
I mean, look, I was going to say you're attacking on both ends, quickly going from defense to offense.
So it's the Knicks now, after the basket by Washington. Noah's shot is off.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Washington.
One area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
I think it sparked their offense. It deflates the opposition, and when you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's pretty hard to overcome that defensive pressure down the stretch.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. Now here's McDermott. Oubre pulls it in.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? Well, I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
Here's Ntilikina after the basket by Washington. Pass to Baker to stop the run, and misses it off the right side of the rim.
Not pretty. You've just got to shake off a miss like that.
Oubre can't get it to go. Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus. Just make the simple play.
Here's O'Quinn. Rebound by the Wizards.
No reason he couldn't have taken more time and finished that one off. Disappointing miss for sure.
Meeks off target from the wing. McDermott with it. Here's Baker. Not really his range, and it's off target. Washington calls timeout. They're leading. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
You know, this is a timeout maybe just so they can pat each other on the back because no other reason to call it.
My guess is that they're just trying to avoid some monumental breakdown after having dominated up to this point.
And now we get the chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Jan Mahimi.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hand.
These fans have been stunned by his performance. Of all the players they thought might do the most damage against him tonight, his name was not high on that list. And Meeks kicks to Smith, stolen by Cantor. Here's Ntilikina. First one falls for him.
And Ntilikina, he possesses that unselfishness that really allows his guys to play their best basketball. You gotta love his approach.
Here's Frazier. And the miss. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks. With John Wall. John, it sure looks like the chemistry is coming together. What is the bond like with your teammates?
We enjoy playing with each other. We have great chemistry. We all work hard, and we know how much we mean to each other, how much we work every day, and we're just trying to keep getting better each game.
Well, the work is paying off, John. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it for the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.